Well, hello, everybody. Lakeisha McKnight is here. Welcome to the Leadership TKO Night Show. Again, welcome. This is a brand that's housed under the International Leadership Education and Development Company, better known as the iLead Company. It's a limited liability company based in Chesapeake, Virginia. Many of you probably know this company as LMBI, or Lakeisha McKnight Brands International. And so welcome to this podcast show where, just like with the company, the mission is to partner with nonprofits, partner with small businesses, with universities, associations, to build winning leaders. That's what we do, a part of this company. So thank you so much for being here. And if you want to learn more about the brand and what we do, visit the website at www.leadershiptko.com. So right now, what I'm going to do is share inside the group that I am indeed live, that we're live here, right here on the Spreaker platform. And many of you might know that we do also have an app in the Google Play Store. So definitely visit the Google Play Store on your Android and, tune in. We're here Monday through Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now I just typed in I am live, join in. I'm sending this to our special group right there on Facebook. Many of you don't know, but with the Leadership TKO brand, we do have several subdivisions. And one of the subdivisions is Leadership TKO for Women. And what we're doing with this particular subdivision, we launched the subdivision through a campaign. And the campaign is called Born to Lead Global Women's Leadership Campaign. And what we're doing with this campaign is really coming together with women around the world to give support to one another, to show love towards one another as we discuss and bring awareness to several issues that we face as a species, as women. And also, of course, bringing to light some of the solutions that are available today, and perhaps even creating better solutions so that we can truly live the lifestyle that we desire. And so that's what we're doing with this campaign. And if you feel like, man, I would love to be on board with this, come on board, join us. There are many countries out there that's connected with this campaign already. We've had the United Kingdom, we have Australia, we have women from all over the world, the Republic of Korea, from the Philippines, from Germany, South Africa, from Canada, the United States, Barbados, the Virgin Islands, right? Indonesia. There's so many places, France, Sweden. I can go on and on and on and on. But right now, of course, I'm just grateful because God is expanding the territory of this brand, of this campaign, because we're putting him first. The Most High is getting recognized and being glorified even through this campaign. And I'm just so grateful and thankful, just taking a moment just to say thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to lead, to be able to take a stand and say that I am woman and that I was born to lead. And the only way that we can truly lead is by looking to the ultimate leader, who is the Most High God. There is no one higher than him, right? And of course, we give thanks to him every single day. And so I want to say thank you to you as well for listening in. Again, visit the website to learn more about the TKO brand. It's www.leadershiptko.com. But if you want to be connected to this campaign, get directly connected by visiting www.borntolead2017.com. The spelling is BORNTOLEAD 2017.com, borntolead2017.com. That's how you can get directly connected. But if you want to know about all of the various elements a part of this campaign, including the book that we're looking to launch, hopefully, at the end of this summer, as well as the reality show that we launched today, we had our very first interview, with a young lady from the United Kingdom. And so if you want to be a part, you want to learn about the reality show, how can you get interviewed on this reality show where we're getting into the lives, the lifestyle of women around the world, I want to encourage you to get plugged in once again. And that's www.borntolead2017.com. But for the entire campaign, to know every element, you can go to the main website for the campaign, which is www.leadershiptko4women.com. Right? So go to that website and you'll be good to go. You have all the information that you need. Now, we do have events that come along with this particular campaign. And our first one is coming up on May 27th here in Portsmouth, Virginia. It's going to take place at the Village Church of Portsmouth, 900 Portsmouth Boulevard in Portsmouth, Virginia. And it's the Leadership TKO Convention, a leadership convention that's going to be comprised of inspirational speakers. It's going to be a showcase of speakers present. We're also going to have trainers there. We're going to have lots of vendors. We're going to have food, professional networking, music, laughter, and we may even have some crying. So definitely visit the website to learn about the campaign, to learn about the convention, how you can grab your ticket for this convention. And the website for the convention is leadershiptkoconvention.com. Again, that's leadershiptkoconvention.com. Okay. So again, thank you so much. And I just wanted to make sure I got all that stuff out of the way so that we can really get into the topic that we're going to focus on tonight. And it's continuing on with what we've been talking about all week, which is women and the issue of depression. Women and depression. And one element, of course, that I'm going to talk about tonight is what does it truly feel like? And I'm going to share with you what it truly feels like from my perspective and my experience. That's what I'm going to talk about tonight, because there's nothing more real than coming from individuals who have experienced it. And so again, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and getting connected and allowing me to share my experience with you. And so I do see, of course, that we have Janine that's listening in live. Thank you so much, Janine. And if there's anyone else listening live, don't hesitate to chime in on the chat area there. Let us know that you're listening in to the live episode as we're going forward right now. But my experience, it actually was a few years ago when I believe I was soon graduating, or I had graduated many years before then from a formal institution as far as college is concerned. And before then I was in relationships, in and out of relationships. And so as a result of my actions, I know some of the actions involved with that. And I know some of those actions probably wasn't pleasing to God. Let's be honest. Okay. With the lifestyle that I had, there were several health concerns that was reported to me by the doctor. And some of those health concerns, they gave me one report of a health concern, and then I would go back and they would say, no, it's something else. And no, and then they told me a third time that it was something else. So I was given 3 different diagnoses. And many of them, I believe one specifically was actually going to lead to cervical cancer. Right. And they were telling me that there was really no cure for it and all types of things. And at that particular point, I had a decision to make whether I was going to accept the report that they was giving me, or whether I was going to go forward and really figure out what did God say about it. So at that time, because of the pain that I was feeling in my body, like it was sharp pains in my abdominal area, like in my pelvic area, just sharp pains. And because, I had those real instances where it just felt like, man, no one knew or understood what I was going through. Okay, I can tell and I can describe the feeling, but no one truly knew. And at least that's how I felt. No one truly knew what I was really feeling. I would go into rooms inside of the house where I was living, and I would just go into a room and I would just not have any lights on whatsoever. I would just lay in complete silence and in darkness. Just lay. And because of the pain would at times felt so unbearable, I would just cry. So here I am laying on the end of my bed, crying, just sobbing and weeping because I'm in pain. And no one truly knew how I was feeling. And here I am replaying in my mind, this is what you have. You have this, and it's not curable. But, there came a point, some people say, well, when did you actually break out of that? That is depression. That is depression. When you're just crying and sobbing and you isolate yourself, separating yourself from other people, and you're in darkness. You don't want any light. You're just lying in the dark. And that's how I was. And I knew that I was depressed. I knew it. Some women, they can't really see the fact that they're depressed, but I knew that I was. And at such a young age, I was just like, who else is truly feeling the way I did? And you may be saying, well, Lakeisha, that's how I feel right now. Or you've had a similar experience. Let me put it that way. And I want to let you know that that weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh. Okay? And that morning is going to come. The light is going to come. And my season of light, of coming out of that darkness, came when God touched me. Of course I knew, and I was a church goer, but when I really began to take it in, he said, okay, well, you've separated to yourself for some time. I understand. Now I need you to separate and come closer to me. So as I drew closer to God, and I began to dig into the word and find out what does he say about healing. And I began to meditate on scriptures as it pertains to healing. Okay. I began to meditate on it. I began to watch inspirational videos, and I had TBN going on. That's the Trinity Broadcast Network, right? I had that going on. And I began to do different things, and God began to teach me how to pray. And at that particular point, I began to engage and learn the power of spiritual warfare, because I was fighting in my mind. The battlefield was in my mind of what thoughts I was actually going to believe as true. And so I have the enemy, of course, trying to put thoughts in my mind. You feel this pain. Don't you feel it? It's true. This is what you have. But in the other side of my mind, I'm thinking, well, this is what the word says. The word says that it is with his stripes that I am healed. The word says that he is a great physician. This is what the word says. Right. And so I begin to say that, begin to speak these words that I'm reading and beginning to believe, speak it over my life. And I begin to pray and pray and pray. And of course, for those of you who are spiritually minded out there, the power of prayer. The power of prayer. The prayers of the righteous avails much. And so as I continue to delve into the word and begin to separate myself and begin to really draw closer to him, he began to just do a work in me. To the point where I went back to the doctor, and the doctor said that they couldn't find anything. They could not find a little piece of an illness or a disease. And before I knew it, because I began to speak it, even though my body felt differently, I began to speak and let people know, yeah, I'm good. I'm healed. I'm good. Right? And I began to tell people that in advance, before it even happened, before it began to manifest. And before you knew it, I didn't feel anything whatsoever anymore. I went to the doctor, kept on going back to the doctor. They were like, I can't find anything. There's nothing wrong with you. God did the work, and he's still doing the same work. And I don't mean to turn this into a preaching session or anything like that. This is just my experience and how I was able to work through it. This is how I was able to press through it. And you might be in a season where you're like, Lakeisha, man, I can't get through this funk. I can't get through this season. It's only a season. And he who the Son sets free shall be free indeed. You can't try to free yourself. It's really only going to be manifest, and you're going to remain free through a higher being by getting in touch with someone. Of course, that someone is God. I can't point you in the wrong direction here. You really just have to rely upon your higher being, whoever it is, of course, that you believe. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus and miraculous work of Jesus. You might believe in something else. It's okay. But whatever your faith is, I understand. But through the miraculous work of God, through Jesus in my life, he was able to help me to get through it. Okay? He was able to help me to get through it, and he can do the same for you. He shows no favor. One person has faith, another person has faith. If you trust and you have faith, he will see you through it. Okay? He shows no favoritism. All of this stuff, sometimes the struggles that we go through as women, I can tell you this division, this inequality that sometimes you see in organizations, It was something that was started by man, but man was only the instrument that was used by the enemy, because we know that the enemy divides. The enemy causes issues whereas God builds up and edifies, the enemy divides and destroys. And so you know the work of the enemy by the results that you see, the things that you see in the natural. I know I'm gonna get off of that, because I know I can be there all day. But trust me when I say that your season of mourning is going to come to an end the moment you say enough is enough. This is the end of the road for this season in my life. I'm going to turn the chapter, and I'm going to begin a new chapter in my life. The moment you begin to say it and you begin to match up your actions with your words, that season of newness, that season of abundance, that season of great health is going to begin to manifest in your life. So trust in whom you believe. Have faith. Continue to press forward. Don't throw in the towel. Don't push people away who want to share with you some love and encourage you. You might have moments where you may want to just be by yourself just a little bit. But when you overdo it and you just spend all day and night by yourself, that's too much. That's too much, sis. So I really have to tell you that. But I thank you so much for tuning in and allowing me to share my story with you. Hopefully you found it impactful. Okay, you found it to be impactful and encouraging. Encouraging. And so if you enjoyed what you've heard, I just want you to hit the like button. Hit the like button right there on the platform there. Share with me your thoughts in the comments area if you would love to do that. That's fine. Okay. But most importantly, just know that you're in this with every one of us, women around the world. You're not by yourself. I've experienced depression, and probably millions of other women, maybe even twice that, because they haven't admitted that they've been depressed. They haven't reported that they've been depressed. Okay. But every woman has experienced it, even if it was for a short period of time, they have. And so if you know someone who's depressed, you're going through it yourself, continue to be connected to this campaign. Have them visit the website, www.borntolead2017.com, to get connected. We're going to direct them in the area of resources, strategies that they can use so that they can become better women, healthier women. But I want to say thank you for listening in and tuning in. And I can't wait, of course, to chat with you in our campaign group on Facebook. And hopefully, if you're going to be there at the convention in this month on the 27th, I can't wait to meet you there. Again, if you want more information about the convention, about this grand convention event that we're going to be having, you just simply go to leadershiptkoconvention.com. But other than that, I'm going to be back here tomorrow night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, I want to encourage you to think, speak, and live leadership.